This movie asks you to not critique it. That's why it works.
The primary emotion that I felt watching it really was confusion. And not just at the plot, which is without a doubt super confusing, but it's also made me like, I think I've said in previous episodes that like the Bonds that I like the most, the ones that have like the good action and they don't really try to get like too super deep and all that stuff. And now I'm like, maybe I don't like that. Because honestly, I don't know if I like having Bond be funny. This movie kind of makes me question whether or not I like the campy Bond feel. It's like I'm a 15-year-old bisexual young man who doesn't know he's bisexual, and he's been into girls, and then one day he sees 300, and now he's thinking about a lot of things that he wasn't thinking about before. So like that's kind of how this movie's made me feel. The
best analogy I've heard.
Are you sure it wasn't Kid and Wint?
Maybe it was Kid.
No, those two sexy motherfuckers.
I want to ask you though to just clarify a bit. Are you saying that you once liked Funny Bond, but this movie made you question it, or
first I'm gonna reference, but
who's paying in advance?
I think Daniel Craig movies have got me fucked up because like for a while that was like my perception. I watched these movies, the older movies when I was a kid, like a young kid, and at the time not watching it with any sense of like film critique. I'm just like, this is shit to watch on TV and there's explosions and babes. So like, of course I'm going to watch this when I'm 13 years old, not paying attention.
Yeah.
And then now, like the Bond movies that I'm used to are the Craig movies where it's taken really seriously, but some of those weren't good. So until we started doing this podcast, I would have said, I prefer the older ones because I remembered having more fun watching those. And this movie, which I hadn't seen before until now, I was like, maybe I don't like the older one. Like maybe I am just like a serious Bond guy because I feel like I enjoy those films more.
Every neighborhood that Bond lives in, I can visit there. I prefer to live in the area populated by Sirius Bond, where it is closer to the books, it's closer to the character, right, that Ian Fleming originally created. It's the same thing as Chris Tolkien, J.R. Tolkien's son, who's like, well, I hate the Lord of the Rings movies. I hate the Hobbit movies. And you're like, why? He's like, you took my father's legacy and you turned it into an action schlock movie. You turned it into this goofy shit. You ruined what he created. And you go, but it's a movie. And that's kind of what this movie represents. Ian Fleming is probably spinning around in his grave. Like, none of my spy career was like this. And Cubby Broccoli just goes, it's a movie. We're here to please an audience and have fun. And last time, we really tried to do something profound, and we kind of fell on our face. But that movie, Secret Service, is the prototype for when Craig comes in, where you are to take this stuff seriously. But then eventually, Craig movies will get goofy, and he's probably done now. But then the next iteration of Bond might get goofy, right? This stuff ebbs and flows as it has to over a long series of time. What these Bond movies are shaping up to, as we've been building on over time, is very serious or goofy or kind of a mixture of the two. And this is going to be our conversation for the next several months doing the rest of these films. And with this one, it's so much fun. My cup of tea is generally going to be the more serious ones, but then visiting Crazy Town is fun so long as the movies like this, where it's fuck it. I mean, this might as well be the Casino Royale parody movie. Yeah. And at this point, to McCurdy's point last week, that's where the spy genre was kind of headed. And that all eventually leads to Austin Powers that owns that genre, right? As so far as the jokes are concerned, until Batman Begins comes along and like revolutionizes everybody's thoughts on everything. But I think with Thunderball, the argument there was they really tried. Nothing says it better than reach exceeding grasp. They really tried, and that movie is to be taken seriously. There's nothing about that movie to not take seriously. But with Diamonds Are Forever, it's such a farce that you never once question whether Bond is going to get killed or not. I mean, even when Bond is literally in an oven, suddenly
So
he's just
stupid.
saved. Like Deus Ex Machina style, just like he's saved.
You dirty double-crossing limey fink, those goddamn diamonds are phonies.
Where are the fucking diamonds?
And, they're like, where? Hey, you fucking limey. Where are the goddamn diamonds? And then I just laugh because it's like, here we are again. Like it's like the movie Snatch. Everybody's going after this product, and everybody who touches the product dies. I mean, it's like Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. It's like it's like all these action comedies.
It's a Guy Ritchie movie.
Like it's a fucking Guy Ritchie movie. Before he was born.
Curious how everyone who touches those diamonds seems to die.
As a Bond purist, I'll probably always rank the more serious movies higher on principle alone, but intention does matter, right? And again, You Only Live Twice set out for you to take it really seriously, and it accidentally was goofy. It didn't mean to be goofy. It accidentally was goofy. This movie means to be goofy, and I think it achieves what it was trying to do.
Definitely achieves
so
that.
much harder than I think Honor Majesty Secret Service is to be respected, though it failed to really achieve what it was trying to do. Because you can read between the lines and see what Peter Hunt was trying to do, and he didn't exactly get there. He got there enough to earn our 4th spot. Otherwise, he could have gotten number 1. On Her Majesty's Secret Service could have gotten number 1. It didn't quite Batman Begins this shit, though. Right? It's right at that sweet spot of number 4. And then right below that, I think Thunderball lives where it tried to achieve something big, and it just sunk below the surface. You Only Live Twice just ended with a cartoon. And I think that's just at the bottom with Diamonds Are Forever, just above it, where Diamonds Are Forever doesn't give a fuck. It doesn't even want to be on this list. It's just like, fuck you. I don't care about your stupid ass list. I'm a fun ass movie. Okay?
This is a very quick interjection. If you had taken Blofeld in Diamonds Are Forever and made him the bad guy in Thunderball would be a much higher ranked movie.
Yeah.
That is my argument here I'm sorry, I love how jokingly stupid this film is.
Right idea, Mr. Bond.
But wrong pussy.
It is so one of a kind within the Connery world.